I'd like to call this meeting to order. Welcome to the regular council meeting of the Township of Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards on October 17th, 2023. As we gather today, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this committee and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Just a couple comments. If anyone drove down Queen Street today, you saw the new markings on the ground, 40 kilometers, slow down.
I do, but
You didn't see them?
I seen them. But I'm not really
Really?
impressed where they put them.
Pretty far out.
Well, this one's at the top of the hill. The other one is as you're coming down the hill. Like, I think you put them
Going in so you could see.
up the hill and on the flat before you go down the hill. But they're there, so that's a step in the right direction.
I would like to recognize the public meeting that took place on October the 10th regarding the proposed KHR comprehensive zoning bylaw. I would like to thank St. Casimir's Church for letting us use the basement. Special thank you to the KHR staff who worked so hard to prepare for the meeting. And thank you to the County Renfrew staff who joined the meeting. And thank you to the KHR residents who attended the meeting. It was great to see so many people in attendance, and thank you for your valuable feedback. Does any member of council have any pecuniary or financial interest to declare? Mr. Brown, Councilor Brown. And now we'd like to move to our delegations. Nicole, you can lead off.
So that's, thank you guys for making time for me tonight. I just thought that it was a good time to come and give you an update about what we did in the summer. And it is Ontario Public Library Week, so kind of getting to let you all know what we're up to. Before I get into what our library has been up to, I thought it would be fitting to share this message from the Executive Director of the Ontario Library Association, which is Michelle Arbuckle. I think it perfectly summarizes what I'm hoping to convey today. And she said, libraries are fundamental to thriving communities and crucial for local economies. They help our neighborhoods develop, making sure everyone has a chance to learn and be part of a community. Libraries bring us all together and play a big role in helping Ontarians learn throughout their lives. So that's exactly what we're trying to do at the Killaloe Public Library. And the theme for this week is Libraries for Life. And I certainly feel that, it's that what we're hoping and wanting to achieve with our library. So I did make a little slide presentation so you guys have something to look at. You don't have to look at me while I'm speaking. You'll notice here I chose to feature our Killaloe Reading Garden that we had during the summer. We had a story walk, which was provided by the TV Summer Reading Club. So you can, all the pages of the book are presented throughout the park, much like we have on our own reading trail in Killaloe Catholic. This is just a temporary setup. And of course, you see a readable sign there, welcoming people to the garden. So just to, just wanted to show you that what's happening outside this summer, and then you can move inside if you don't mind. So we obviously had lots going on during the summer, but a lot of it's about the kids. So we had our PD Summer Reading Club, and it was our biggest year yet. We had more than 75 participants over the course of 8 weeks. And we had we focused on, obviously, we told stories, we did crafts and drawing and art, and we also did STEM activities. So, science, technology, engineering, and math. And you can see there on the left, some of the kids were having a stacking challenge. They were given a certain number of cups, and whoever could make the top tallest tower won. They did a little stamping, and it's funny, up on the upper right, you'll see the challenge was to hold a soccer ball up, create as tall a tower as you could with a soccer ball using only newspaper and tape. So they had to, various kids did different designs, but the one group felt that the ball itself needed to be wrapped in paper. They were the most creative group, so that's why that's the soccer ball in paper, but it was a challenge to see how tall they could build with just paper and tape. And we can go to the next slide. Oh, okay. So just again, reiterating what we are doing at the library, and of course, we have our beautiful new space. We can do much more than we used to do. And there you see at the top, we had Liz Krantz was in launching or promoting her new book, If I Can Do It, You Can Too. She was in during the summer. And the bottom picture is our Friends of the Library group put on a cooking class as a fundraiser, which was very well received and well attended, and raised funds for our Friends of the Library group. We also had a youth club that we launched last March, or in March 2023, which I told you about, and that went on throughout the summer. And yeah, and our arts and culture partnerships will I'll speak to a bit more in a future slide, but as you know, we have art on the outside of the building. It was community art created with KHR, and we've had several displays in the library as well, so that's been good. The next slide, please. So I put a quote there at the top. This is the best library I've ever been to. It's not like I made it up. I do hear this, and sometimes I'm even a little surprised because it's not even people in our own community, it's visitors. This is the best library. You have the best collection. So I just wanted to tell all of you that you can be proud of our library. It obviously strikes a chord with people both near and far. And just during the summer months, we lent out over 4,000 items to our patrons. We had 96 visits to our youth program, which I told you about, and we've raised so far this year almost $12,000 through our fundraising initiatives with the library. So that doesn't include Friends of the Library. So we are really working hard to raise funds and do outreach and you know, make more good things happen for the library. You can go to the next slide again. And so I was speaking about art before, and I would draw your attention, that is the tapestry that was created by a group of artists and was spearheaded through OB Chaos. And many of the artists who created patches in that tapestry are from Killaloo. So I advocated to have it at our library, and I'm really happy to have this piece of art at the library. The picture does not do it justice. It's really stunning, and I really encourage all of you to come and see it. And if you, I can take you on a little tour when you're at the library, but you're actually looking at a map of the Bonachar River watershed. And each artist was given a block to create in this tapestry that creates a map of our watershed. So it's just a really beautiful thing for a whole bunch of reasons. And, you know, as I said before, the library really, and especially now that we've expanded, it really is a welcoming space for all. And we get lots of people every day coming through, which makes me happy. And it's a place to learn and grow, and it's a place to celebrate our life. So I just wanted to share some of those, you know, things that have been happening at the library and some of the reasons that we should all be proud of the library and what we have to offer our community. I do have a few other points. That's the end of my slide presentation. I did put up my contact information for anyone who wants to reach out to me anytime, and I do welcome you to come to the library anytime too, and see what we're doing on a regular basis. As I said, we are doing a lot, and the community really wants us to do even more. And you know, we're looking at our fall learning opportunities. We have some things coming up, looking at developing a book club. We've got two interesting, we've got a Monday matinee coming up for the seniors. We've got a workshop in collaboration with Salt Seniors Active Living Center coming up on wills, creating your own wills and testaments. And we've got some special events for children and so many more things. But of course, we can't do as much as we would like, or that people would like, because we can only do so much in a given week. And of course, we are, as I've said before, we're significantly understaffed compared to other libraries and even compared to what we need at our library. So that's something that we are looking at as a board and as a group. We have this beautiful space and we've got a strategic planning process in place, which I believe you all know about. We have some consultations coming up on October 28th. I really hope that some of you can join us for that because it's the first step in envisioning where we're headed in the next few years and the more great things that we can do for our community. So and I do believe, Tammy, that they all got some notification about that. Is that right? Thank you. So we do have those things underway. We need to move forward with the library that's properly staffed and that can meet the needs of the community. And our board feels that the full-time library position is the way to do that. And so the library board, working with council, would like to achieve that over the next few years by incrementally increasing powers for the librarian so that we can keep doing amazing things at the library and for our community, because there really is a lot of potential and we can't do everything that we'd like to right now, but we're working on it and we're going to continue working on it and hopefully with you. And again, when we increase hours for the library, not only will it have an immediate impact, but it will also have a longer term impact in terms of succession planning, because we want to have a professional, properly staffed library with a full-time librarian, so that when I am no longer the librarian, we can attract another librarian who wants to step in and make the library an even better place. I'm not planning to go anywhere. I'm just saying we do need to think about those things. So for all those reasons, we're looking at building toward that full-time position in the library and continuing to do more great things to serve our community.
Anybody have any questions? Ted?
I just wondered, you still do the gaming night?
Yeah, every Wednesday. So that's what I was referring to when I called say youth programming. But yes, we do have other things like, we have the house available if they want to do them, tabletop board games, video games, and the really popular snack portion of the program. So they all like it.
Anybody else have any questions? Brian? Carol? Boy, it's a quiet group tonight.
Library is awesome.
Yeah. But I'll say,
Well,
and you're amazing.
You set a standard, so keep it up.
Well, we are going to do our best. We're going to keep at it for sure. So
Awesome.
thank you all very much for listening. And if you do have any questions anytime, I'm. Thank you. I will.
Now, our next delegation, Lorraine, you want to come forward?
Thank you. I just have a few talking points that I'd like to mention for all of you in response to some of the articles that I've seen and discussions that I've heard about. So the Bond Trace Snowmobile Club has been part of the Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs for 35 years, and it was a recreational club before that. So it's been around for a long time. The club is a not-for-profit, volunteer-based, and brings economic benefit into the township, the county, and contributed to a huge 18 billion, and I did say billion, in economic spin-off to the province of Ontario for 2022. The Bond Trace Club does not own the groomers. They are owned by the OFSC. The club receives its funds to operate from the OFSC based on hours of grooming. So if the groomer is not able to groom, then the club cannot continue to operate. That's how we get our money. This would cut off access to other clubs and would have a domino effect. The club is allowed to cross roads through provincial legislation. We have to be able to cross roadways to get to the trails. The trails that the Round Lake River covers are part of the Raptor, which is around Algonquin Park. It's a tourism loop that's been promoted by the province of Ontario for many years, and it brings a lot of players into Vancouver County. And is part of the Top B Trail, which is the main trail which is linking north to Pembroke, west to Whitney, and south to Barry's Bay and east to Windsor. So it's a big area. I'm giving you all a copy of our District 6 map. It kind of lays out the area that District 6 covers, which one is part of the District 6. Not allowing road crossings will disrupt and affect not just the township, but the county and ultimately the province. This is not damage, it's wear. There is as much or more wear to the right of 1253 Red Rock Road, where the groomer has never been, which are the two photos that I've provided that were taken on Monday afternoon. I both drove Red Rock Road to the right of 1253 where the groomer sits to get to the meeting, and there are lots of strips that are very badly damaged. It is not a groomer specific issue.
These both of the right side.
Both of those pictures are of the right side, two sections before where they paved the right across recently. They covered.
South side of the road south. Okay.
Yeah. We've been running the side of the road on Simpson's Pit up to and along Buck Hill Road. Also, the Killaloe groomer has been using the streets and crossing the bridge of the main road in Killaloe for 35 years. I'm not hearing anything from our letter writer about that. The groomer on the Red Rock side of the lake has been grooming the number 149 trail to get to the B trail for over 10 years. It does mention in one of the articles that the letter writer has indicated that the roads were built for vehicle traffic, not snowmobile groomers. I'd like to point out that the groomer was sitting at 1253 Red Rock Road long before that Boyd Park corridor was ever built. So when you built the road, you knew the groomer was there and you knew the groomer was going to have to travel that road to get to the trail. I'd also like to comment that we cannot jump up and move a groomer for a trail. You need landowners that are willing to have the groomers on the trails on their property. It's their property. It requires a landowner to volunteer to have it in place there. It requires hydro, and no one else has volunteered their land for this use. In the article in Eagle the Leader, it is referred to as asphalt. We all know this is not asphalt, it is chip and it's coal patch. We spoke to the county a few years back, we being the Bonner Creek Snowmobile Club. They were okay with the club having the groomer ride over the culverts on the inside of the guardrails at Jack's Creek. And they suggested we talk to the township. So the Bontrae Club met with two councillors and the road super at that time, requesting assistance with this, and we were denied. And they told us at that time that it was a county issue, so we dropped it and we maintained going over the bridge on the road because we have to get over the bridge. We acknowledge that the groomer may have marked a road surface, but having thin chip surfaces versus 2 inches of asphalt are quite different. You can drive anywhere in the province of Ontario and you'll be able to see where the trails are for snowmobilers. They do leave a little bit of a mark, but they don't do a lot of damage just because they're driving on asphalt or pavement. I'm under the impression that asphalt pavement are the same thing. It's not the same as chip or patch. We as snowmobilers all pay road tax through our fuel purchases and would suggest and hope that the township applies some of these revenues to fix road crossings where required. We would ask the township to be an active partner in our efforts to maintain our trail network for the betterment of the community and to promote local tourism initiatives. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Start. Harold, you want to start?
I know you've been, I've been snowmobiling since 1970. I know all of your trails. And the groomer, or maybe since Boyd Corridor was opened up, that is going down, but it always used to go in and around and cross Old Red Rock Road before the bridge and then onto the lake. And apparently at that time, I guess the landowner who had the cottage there, or new owners, cut it out.
That's correct.
The big damage is when he's turning to go into his property, and again, it's chipped asphalt. Like I said, I used to do 7,000 kilometers a year, so I know snowmobiling. You can see the marks where they cross the road, it's asphalt, that's right. Chipped asphalt won't handle that steel trap groomer. Every year, that's gonna be tore to heck with chipped asphalt in there. And I don't know exactly how much it costs. Dean might be able to tell us to repair just that one section.
Yeah, I did some numbers here. Usually, we get, head dump commanders it brings roughly $6,000 worth of coal ash. We had, in a total, roughly 3 tandem loads. So in total, one tandem load would cost roughly $2,000. And we put 2 out there, but as you can see in the picture, all of it wasn't where that was after even that spot, we put that, so. In total, roughly, it's roughly $4,200 with the grader, but again, it wasn't all in that one section, it was past that section where the river does not go. So that's, rough.
Right?
Yeah, just a couple. So you mentioned that the groomer had been there before White Lake corridor was built.
That's correct.
So what was the route then before that? There was no White Lake corridor wasn't there, and now you're going down White Lake corridor.
We're going in the ditch for Way Park corridor, and we're crossing over Mr. Prince's driveway and going out, crossing Round Lake Road to get to the 129. Prior to that, we would still go out our driveway in the same spot on Red Rock Road, the same way, and we would follow the old Red Rock Road and go out that way.
Okay, so you didn't go across the lake.
You can't take a groomer across the lake. It's unsafe. Broomfield can't cross the lake.
And it was one other thing I had. Skipping along down, they come back to me in a second.
We'll come back. Carl? Ted?
Well, just sort of like I said before. For economic development, we really have to. Suck some of this stuff up. I know other townships do it. It's cost of doing business, in my opinion. Some of these letters aren't about the road, it's. More than they just don't want the groomer going down there, but. I think we have to suck it up sometimes. I did talk to Tommy Summers today. He did have a suggestion that when we are looking at doing work on that road and it's affordable in the budget, maybe we'd even only pave that 20, however wide it is and however long it is, where the groomer goes in. And you don't have to do it.
The 2 sections there, and then if it was pavement, there'd be no problem.
But I think we have to figure out a solution, and we have to keep the groomer going.
I agree, it has to keep going, it brings too much in.
Not just us, the whole county.
Yep.
You drive by the Well Tavern or Golden Sands on a Saturday in February. You can't park a vehicle there because it's all snow machines. Well, those are people who stop in our community and spend money here because you see them parked and they walk downtown or they walk over to Vandy's.
Even cafe picks them, starting to pick them up last year.
Yeah.
They have come in and they run day trips, and you see in there, you see quite a few, so it's all coming in up the lake and down. Snowmobiling is a big business. Always have.
Bill, any comments?
That stole my thunder. I'd like to, I think it would be good for if we could start out, how much it's gonna cost to pay that, with that property vegetable. Just the small sections.
Maureen?
So just my only question was, you had talked last time about parking it somewhere different. Is that even an option? Like that's something?
Well,
that's
the only place I could see is when they come out down off the B trail down Guns Road to Camp Mishawaka. If it could be parked there. Now, I don't know if they have to be plugged in all winter.
They need hydro to be plugged in to start. The groomer operator needs place to park, to work on it. You need a land use agreement. Camp Mishpah has to be in favor of having the groomer there, having a safe place for it. They're not there all winter. They do allow us to access the lake, but the groomer doesn't go on their property. It only goes to the property and then to the lake.
You also need someplace for fuel.
Yeah, I think that sort of set up for good where it is right now.
I know it is,
the hydro
yeah,
is there and
It's just,
they're up.
Yeah, that's just something we've been discussing, or just like alternatives where it can be parked, so it's not having to drive down that stretch of road, but I do understand, nobody wants to, no one here wants to take away
no,
snowmobiling or, having the trails groomed, nobody wants to do that. But it's just, we're just
Well,
looking for
maybe
ways
not
to,
here, not here.
yeah,
But I believe that, let's say we were able to come up with an agreement to move the groomer, you're still gonna get your ladders because the ladders have to be able to travel down there. Again, that's the route that we've been gracious enough to give the Snowmobile Club access to our land currently to access the lake. We have tried to get it somewhere else because it is, if you've ridden it, it is very steep to go down to the lake off of 149 at our location. But we have no other way to get onto the lake, and that cuts off people like Ava's, the gas stations, picking up snacks. So the landowner that is anti-flooding is still going to have an issue, unfortunately. And there's nothing we can do about that.
Well, I think what you've heard here is that the economic development is by far, we need that. And we all want that. I think what you're hearing here is that there's going to be a commitment by this council that we're going to fund to repair that road. I think that's the feeling I'm getting. Is that correct, council? So, and then
yeah.
and then to the point of, as Ted suggested, to eventually pave that section. And so that's council's commitment. I'm sensing that's what I'm hearing. So, right?
Yeah, just I really want to, so. Yeah, first of all, I totally agree with all my colleagues here about the economic part of it. It's great for the township, and we don't want to see it lost, but we have to look at some ways of making it more feasible. So first of all, groomers cross the road all over, you know that.
Yes.
But do they drive up the road for half a kilometer or more?
In some places, yes. Depends on where the trail is and they can access, yes.
And second of all, I was going to say was even if we pave it, the pavement, if you're going to drive that steel track groomer off pavement, it's still going to tear it up.
There isn't any need to drive up the pavement. It's only, we have to get out of the parking spot where it is to the other side of the road for safety. We go down that road, then we cross over as soon as we get to Prince's first driveway where he owns it at the lake. There's no damage there. It crosses there every time.
Absolutely.
And then it's on your township land in the ditch of the road. And then it doesn't go back on the road until when we get to the bridge. And if the township would be willing to assist us in some way with some equipment and some fill, we can. The county is saying no problem. Go on the inside and drive. Then we don't have to go on the road at all.
That's what we're looking for, is some solutions, something like that.
But unfortunately, the club does not have the financial means to do that.
Second question I have is this a new thing, this steel track groomer, or was it always steel track, or was it rubber before?
We can't use a rubber track on the groomer on the Round Lake side because of the places where it goes in the bush. It won't get up the hills. It's in snow, the groomer operator's driving at night in the dark by himself in the bush. And he needs to be able to know that he's gonna get up those hills.
So Dean, as of right now, that section's all cleaned up now, right? Like you've redone that area as best you can. Yeah, as best you can.
Well, we just put it down.
Yeah. So basically what we're looking at is the start of next year. Once after, so we can sit with budget time and go through this.
Sure. This council wants it.
Is that okay with everyone?
May I add something?
Mhm.
I believe that the damage is done during very opening and the closing. Because as I indicated, we do get paid on our grooming hours. So if there's snow in the bush, we want to get that groomer to the bush and groom. So if the council would be willing, we would be open to having the road super say, okay, it's spring now, we need to close. I know that unfortunately the Killu groomer is one of the first ones in the district to sort of put the trails red because of the sun on the rail bed and they don't have the snow. The Killu groomer tries to go and make up for that loss as far as they can, for as long as they can, because there's quite often a lot of snow still in the bush and we can still groom and the sledders are out. But if that would help alleviate something, I think that's something that maybe we could work together on. Would that be acceptable, Terry?
You're talking about frost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when the frost comes out, you just tell us, because once the snow is on the thing, then the groomers will change it.
Yeah.
Say so. Yeah, no, yeah, you're correct on that, because you're right, it's when the frost starts, when the road, and like you said, it's not asphalt, it's surface. Which is chips and stuff, and it's only millimeters thick, right, so anytime you turn. Now, just a suggestion, would it be possible? If you needed to extend the longevity of the trails, would it be possible to say even at the corner at your place where you have the turn in the wind or whatever, could you guys put planks down the road? Because if you drive the street, it's not too bad. As soon as you turn the tracks to the right, left, you know what I mean? That's when you take the surface treatment and that's when it rips it up. Would it be possible for that, or I'm just throwing that out there as a suggestion to council as well.
That's a good suggestion.
I think that's a safety concern though, because when you're laying that, once you lay it and the groomer goes around, then the groomer has to sit on the side of the road at night in the dark. He has to get out of the groomer and go and lift those up by himself, and where's he gonna put them?
It's only one person, right? No, there's not two.
No, there's one person, and they're, as I indicated, they're all volunteers,
Totally.
so. Yeah,
I just wanted to throw that out there.
no,
So it's wondering where you're talking about the bridge. We could figure out maybe how much it would cost. To do that.
The culvert, like the culverts and drop culverts.
I don't know how much, I don't know how, that's beyond my scope of knowledge, but I'm sure that you can figure that out.
Was there a cost estimate last time?
No, we never got into that.
I don't think so. I think it was.
I don't know if that was you or someone prior, I don't know.
Well, I think the bottom line is we're gonna take it to budget time. And we're gonna, Dean will, Carl,
Does it kill tracks or lumber? Sorry.
Tracks.
See, it comes down Mill Street, goes across the bridge and up here and then. And there's asphalt there, it doesn't tear it up, well, it's asphalt, so.
It's asphalt.
Doesn't even matter.
It'll take a lot more than chip stone though.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying though.
And if it's going straight, he's not.
Yeah.
I think we're safe to say that there's gonna be no change for this one.
Right.
Carry on.
right, but with communicating. Between you with Dean and say, this is what we're doing, this is when we're starting, to give him a heads up in case he needs to do something,
Okay,
if that's,
I will let the groomer operator know.
And communication is very important. And it causes us a lot less problems, believe me.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting.
Moved by Carol Levine, second by Maureen McMillan, motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of October 3rd, 2022, open and closed sessions.
Any concerns or questions? All those in favor? Carol? And now our reports. Bob, you can go first.
All right, so we got one of the operations with our fire. September begins with fire alarm on Cameron Street. September 20th, learning complaint framework. September 22nd, a brush garbage fire at the airport. September 27th, fire alarm on Roman Lost Road. October 2nd, bonfire complaint down the street at Renate Road. And October the 12th, we had smoke from an RV on the Call Street. Ongoing activities, weekly truck check, monthly equipment check. Recent events, September 6th, we had the Renfrew County Quarterly Fire Chiefs meeting in Pembroke. On the 11th, establishing and regulating bylaw review here. September 12th, annual pump testing. September the 12th, we had the fire department bi-monthly meeting. September 14th, we had a meeting with the Red Cross, reservices and contracts. They're implementing a new type of program. And they wanted to dump a lot of work on me and other fire chiefs and whatnot. But I said, it's gonna have to be a presentation to council to see whether we are going to work with this particular project or not. It would be identifying all the places where we may use space for Red Cross or its companions. And how many square feet of this and what exactly is going in there, et cetera, et cetera. So it'd be quite intensive once they get going, if they get going with it. September 21st, we had St. Andrew's Fun Evening. September the 23rd, we provided support to the Waters Festival. September the 28th, annual air compressor maintenance. October 3rd, TSSA Fall 2023 CO campaign meeting. October the 10th, support to the zoning bylaw public meeting. Upcoming events, we have a PAC 6 meeting in Carlton Place. November 10th, Remembrance Day, December 6th, Renfrew County Quarterly Fire Chiefs meeting, and December the 9th, Santa Claus Parade. What have we been doing in fire prevention? Newspaper ads we get monthly in the Evansville Leader. October the 11th, we did a fire prevention training at KPS, as well as St. Andrew's Catholic School, and had a fire drill at most community partners. Training undertaken on September 19th, it was expectation live scenario at our auto. October 3rd, smokehouse at Ambrose's farmhouse. October 10th, they had training practical review of a lot of little stuff, breathing apparatus, personal protection equipment, rope stock, pump operations, etc. I didn't get the updated list for tonight's training, but they're over there already. On October 13th, as far as the CEMC, we have capital sector, fall CEMC meeting in Renfrew. We used to have at least 2 of these meetings. It's been a while since we had one, so it was some interesting discussion. A lot of new players. Does anyone have any questions on any of that? Yes, sir.
The last time you were here with us, I mentioned the nuclear waste transportation using our highways, and you were going to check with the other fire chiefs if in at one of your meetings to see if anyone else had training going on.
Okay, forget about that one, yes.
Yeah, it was brought up at the county level.
Number the 6th, I think.
Yeah, it was brought up at the county level, and there was concern
Waste.
and that a lot of the fire departments may not be trained in that specific area, so
We never will be.
probably never will be. Yeah.
You can call them how it's not here.
Yeah.
It's going to go bankrupt the township.
Yeah, there would be no training for any of.
Because apparently there's
fire
gonna-
departments.
There's going to be a lot more of that transportation going along on the highways now
So a lot of it goes.
that nobody knows about yet.
Best thing is running behind.
Anyways,
Okay, so you want me, I can check at the next meeting, see if anyone has any.
see if
training.
anyone does. Yeah.
And I'm not sure what they do for actual transport, whether you should say you have hazmat support, or whether you're getting
military vehicles front and back.
You'd almost think that would have to be listed as people are transporting, like they wouldn't do it in the middle of the night. It would have to be known, would it not?
Probably, they would have a plan in place, like the carrier.
Whoever's shipping.
Plan.
Most Canadian people have permits, yearly permits that apply for loans like that, so.
Okay,
One other thing, I'd like to recommend the council to hire Sean Green as a probationary firefighter for KHRFD. Sean came to me a couple of months back, said he's interested, etc. He's been attending our training sessions for the last few weeks. He's got a Bachelor of Applied Science in Mechanical Engineering at Queen's University. He worked for engineering and corporate assets in Florida Lakes in September 18. Leading on, he was in engineering and corporate assets, developmental engineering. Then he went as an engineering intern at Reactor in Pickering. And now he's up at CNL and he is a mechanical engineer in training there. He's also got a CPR, AED, first aid. And for Dave, he's developed skills in playing junior A hockey. So he seems to be quite rounded individual.
okay. Anybody have any questions on that resume? Very impressive. Do we need a vote or resolution?
How do you spell his name?
Sean, SEAN, Green, as in green.
Okay.
And what is he going to be hired as?
Pardon me?
What is he gonna be hired as?
Probationary firefighter.
We're handing them out at the schools.
What is it?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking. I have two people asking, kids brought them home, but they're on the air.
I don't recognize that enough, that's all.
They got it at St. Andrew's School.
I've never seen that sharp. I put the package together myself, I've never seen that.
They got it from the firefighters. So
What is it?
I don't know. Usually,
Looks like a little map folder with the faulty wiring, fire.
something to put here.
Let's see, Bob, Jen, can you just hold it up? Wow,
Asked if I could find out what they were.
was it just a piece of paper or is it something plastic or
I think it's plastic.
it's got to be a little bit expensive to hand out those?
They got fire branch of the fire department.
At St. Andrews. If you're in the neighborhood, would you mind stopping in
Can you look it up?
and find out what they are passing out and who it is? If our fire chief doesn't know who's passing them out,
Well, we made there, I mean.
Well, it doesn't matter.
We did a package together for the younger kids, yes, I made the packages myself. And that wasn't in them, now, it doesn't mean that somebody else can drop something off.
Yeah.
My guys were too busy to be handing extra stuff out, I'll tell you.
yeah.
But we only have 4 of us available to do it.
Okay, so back to the resolution.
Moved by Maureen McMillan, second by Bill Smith, motion to approve the hiring of Sean Green as a probationary firefighter for the KHR Fire Department.
Oh.
Ready?
All those in favor?
There we go.
Maureen?
Yep.
Carried.
Thank you. I'll check on those good things.
Dean,
Okay, so the regular road maintenance continues, truck maintenance continues to help. The A gravel tender is complete, we put 7,000 ton roughly on 4 separate roads. scenic hidden trail, mountain view and stone church. The tractor, with the boom broke, for the back ahead, so we took it off and we have to take it into repair to the welder that's, North American. It has to be repainted, it's been welded a couple times, but we'll have to get it repainted. The demonstration, for the manhole repair was today. To me, it was an excellent demo. Both Carl and Harold were there today. It's up past the place up there, and did an awesome job. It took us, well, by the time he explained it, like it took him all morning, but he was explaining it and walking us through. We had to let the cement dry. The cement only dripped, like, for around the main hole, it dried within 10 minutes. You could walk on it and not even put a mark on it. So like for heavy traffic roads, it'd be open quicker. I thought it was great. They had their kit for one catch basin should probably cost around $850 for a concrete kit plus their own asphalt patch. The only other thing was I thought was really nice to see. I mean, this cost is a ladder that gets put in there first inside the hole, and they blow it up with air, so it's like a big balloon, what's called a ladder. So when you're chipping out the old asphalt and the old concrete, before we had to go actually down the manhole, put it in a pail, because you can't stop everything. So this stops everything. You just blow it up, and then you just deflate it, put your catch basin back on it, put your bladder back in when the catch basin is on it, pour your concrete around so the concrete doesn't get inside that hole, and then you let it dry, like I said, for 10 minutes, pull it out, put the asphalt down, and they only use 10 bags, I guess, of the asphalt there today. It will be packed it, and we'll never have to come back there again, probably in my lifetime. And the initial cost for one kit to do that one manhole today was $850. It was a free demonstration because he wants to sell the product, obviously, but $850, and that bladder would be $650. And like it is only plastic kind of thing, like a hard plastic, but he's done. I think he said he had to buy another one. And what did he say? He did last like 60 or 80 of them. Yeah. And he wouldn't have to replace the bladder. So to me, it's a good, you spend a little bit more time on it, but like if we were to do it, we wouldn't do as long as what they would. We'd probably do 4 a day at least. Yeah, kind of thing. And there's a few in town as people who drive the streets. I'm sure they know that their sun's picking up a little too high.
Was the county there watching also?
No, they're probably going to be. They're doing some Ramford County, some Lanark County. So they're staying in Ottawa, and then they're just doing different municipalities. We're supposed to have North Dakota was supposed to be here. Madawaska Valley was supposed to be here, but they had other engagements. And then a company from spokesperson from BI was supposed to be here, but again, they had to do something else. But no, we had all my staff out there just to see how it worked. In case we do go ahead with this, I think it's a great idea. Compared to what we normally do, because all we do is usually put a little bit of concrete around and put our just cold patch. We don't even do hot mix or whatever, and then we just kind of pack it with the truck instead of an actual packer. And I think we were talking there today, it wouldn't be a bad investment to purchase a packer as well. Or these stuff, even the bigger packer, that'd probably be better because you run over with the truck, but you know yourself. It's not that efficient, but some of the roads there's.
Yeah, when you put that spray on so that it's bind to the outside. So what if you're doing a pothole and you took just that spray bomb went around it? It says it bonds the other surface.
Yeah, stop the water.
Just give a shot of that around.
We do that really.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we have a couple of those whole things. Especially in the worst spots like like on by Cameron Street and Keach's there. You notice that the water sits there, and you know yourself, the water's gonna freeze and then it's gonna make you pothole. We did that. He did that 2 years ago. In the pouring rain. Cleaned the water out of the hole and a hole started inside because that didn't even go. So yeah, it does work good. And it does bond to it, like you go around the catch basin on the outside of it, plus the asphalt, and it bonds to it, so no water gets in. It's like a sealant, so that no water gets actually in, so it doesn't expand like when frost. Obviously, frost gets in the water, the ground or water gets in the frost, and things.
There's been upgrades.
Well,
Anybody going up Dennis for dinner and they just go up to the next house and look at that manhole, it's just, it's perfect, I'm telling you. Okay, Earl?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
and it's cost to pay, I mean, you pay for it, but you're not going back for years, it's there, and the more you drive on it, the harder it gets, the stones just bond right together in it.
that sounds like a good item to put on your budget. We've got a lot of boosters here, so
he said one kid will do 4 small ones and do 3 large manholes like we did it.
Yeah, it just depends how wide we have to cut them or whatever, if the space or the range or whatever, but.
So he was, I'd say with the kit and everything. You do 3 manholes for $3 grand, right? Approximately? Roughly. Yeah. So, I'd like to know what Barry's base cost.
well, oh, that was big. That was big money.
Oh,
Well, he was, the guy, what was his name? He was from Southern Ontario, he said it cost, down there where you're from. They'll get like a contract, like a construction company and to do $5 grand per manhole.
I bet you Barry's base was that.
All of that, because I think there was 2 companies that were doing it. The concrete, there was concrete. Oh, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
You would notice, wouldn't you?
But if you look up there, if you think it's like over there, but this is the trees.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions for Dean? Or were you done?
No, just waste management report, still waiting on parts for the loader at the landfill. They're kind of on back order just because it's an older loader, so it's gonna take a little longer to get. As soon as that's in, we're gonna, the guy's ready to go, we're gonna slap that in kind of thing, the part. Just cleaning around both race sites before winter, and one guy, Bob's guy is gonna be running the brush soon at the landfill site again for winter.
Any other questions for Dean? Have a good night. No, Tammy first. Oh, yeah, pay the bills, right. I always forget that. Yeah, you can leave.
I, Ted Brown, have pecuniary financial interest with Rosenthal November 09/2022.
Questions? I know we got this piece of paper late, so
I went through it.
you did already? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Brian, you can lead off.
25610.
Oh, that's me too. And on the back page too, same thing.
Nature design,
Yeah, what's that?
signs, I'm assuming.
Half these persons,
Eh?
Oh, yeah.
half the persons.
Holy Lord. Yeah.
Carl, you said you had another one on the back?
25662, $3,734.65.
Even though we're paying for them, it'll come out from,
Is
His
there a grant
account.
for that, or
yeah,
what's happening?
it's all part of that grant money.
Hey, so that's $5,000 and
Yeah.
signs.
Anybody else have any questions?
I only had one, it's not for a lot, I'm just curious, 25585.
25585.
85.
That's probably Chris's for,
I don't
what's the
know.
number again?
25585.
I don't know the company.
Yeah, it was just a curious, like, it's a curious name, like.
I don't know the name, but I don't know that name.
Phillips Incorporated. Phillips the Bark or something?
Maybe.
I wonder what they do. Leave it there, what's in them. This week.
So it was under other culture events. It was for an activity that Chris was doing and the movie was Jumanji.
Oh.
Oh, that movie, Jumanji. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I think we're going to really good streams here, Jim. Streams You know, it's 725, somebody labeled,
Yeah, that's the license
That's
to,
the license
to
fee.
be able to display a movie outside. That's what
that's
it's
the
called.
license.
That's the license. That's
Yeah.
what it costs to publicly display a movie outside.
Bill,
Yeah,
you had one?
25674 2580 15 quarters and brief of capital control.
674?
25674 capital control and instrumentation. You know? $24,000.
It's, what's the very, 25674.
5-4 or 7?
74.
7-4.
Capital controllers. And instrumentation.
5, 6.
674.
Computer stuff, no?
Capital controls and instrumentation.
Haha, SCADA.
Scatter,
Uh-huh.
scatter.
Early experience from something like that.
Yeah.
Anybody else? We're good. Thanks, Dean. Look at that. You got 2 minutes before 8.
So motion on the floor, moved by Maureen McMillan, second by Harold Levine, motion to approve the road and general voucher 09-2023 in the amount of $1,307,992.31.
All those in favor? Carried.
What's that?
I don't have anything open, I just have closed.
Okay, moving right along. Nothing from Tammy. Committee reports. Anybody have anything on committee? Anybody have anything on committee?
What's that?
Any committee reports? I just have one, and that is the last time we were together 2 weeks ago. I was negligent and I didn't bring this up and I should have, the green burial.
That's gonna be discussed.
New
in
business.
We'll discuss that in the business. Correspondence. Nominations for the Warden's Community Service Awards. Catherine Fife, Waterloo MPP, Fixing Long-Term Care Amendment Act. An email from Scott Gardner.
Everybody should take that home and frame it.
I could always-
That's a 9-year driving seat, so thanking us for doing a good job.
Yeah, you do.
That actually, after October 10th, that made my heart very happy to read that. Thank you, Scott.
I've never seen one that been.
Oh, come on, come on.
Not there, really good. No, it's really good.
Was that? That one's not on here, is it? Communications, guaranteed livable. That one's on?
Mhm.
Township of Alnwick and Haldeman.
That's the livable income.
Well, that's that one. I don't think we have that. Ken.
Yeah. it's the-
Taking a long time, Karen, no?
No, it's the livable input. Resolution regarding which is livable input. We have it, it's just not on.
It's just not on the agenda.
Okay, no problem. St. Francis Memorial Hospital. St. Francis Memorial Hospital. So we wanted to give that to everyone to look at. There's going to be another meeting. Tammy and I will be attending at some point, and there'll be a lot more discussion in that regard. So basically, right now, that's for your information to look at and accumulate your questions. And hopefully we'll have answers after our next meeting. Okay,
You're in that.
Yeah. CHCR Homegrown Community Radio. It's info about their annual meeting. Administrative penalties in regards to broadband. Cigarette producer responsibility. Okay, is there any unfinished business? New business?
Oh, I got lots. I have a list here. Just saying that. No, I do a couple of things though. So number one, some of Brian and Ted, I think you guys were really too not here the night that Green Burial came. And they came with a whole bunch of new information and there's just a bit more work to be done to see whether we want to proceed with it or whether we want to come up with another solution to see if we can make this happen in our township. So I do have a request. So this is a motion to request Mayor Mabel to create a Green Burial Committee that contains all members of council to discuss any future initiatives regarding Green Burial. Because we need all of us together on that, not together on this, but we need to just explore it a little bit further.
So your request is to form a committee,
It's a form of.
an ad hoc committee in regards to Green Burial.
Yes,
So,
Do you have-
we discussing that we don't know.
I think just a lot of the questions, we're still left with a whole bunch of questions to explore, so like ownership of the burial site for one.
No way.
So there is still some things to explore.
So do we need a resolution or we just form a committee and pick a date?
She's got a
I got the
resolution prepared.
I think we could just call one meeting, because I don't think we need a committee.
But a separate meeting, like a special meeting just for Green Burial? I
We
think
can
like,
get through that in one meeting, can't we? I can.
that's the same thing, committee, meeting.
Mhm,
I know we had said a committee,
mhm. Well, regardless, we have to have another meeting.
another meeting.
Yes.
Let's make that another meeting. So do we want to pick a date?
Yeah, November 6th.
Is that hunting week?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no.
No, it has to, it has to be full council.
And I would just like us to have time for Tammy to be able to do some work for this, like a little bit of investigation.
Maureen, pick a date.
So I'm working,
Just saying that, have we not done all that legwork already, Tab?
We've done a majority of it, yes, but there, after the meeting, there was some new information that sort of was brought forward that I haven't been able to
Okay.
investigate.
yeah, so I will suggest the 22nd or 23rd of November, just to give us time to look into those things.
Okay, let's start with 22nd of November, which is a Wednesday.
Which is a Wednesday.
Anybody have a problem?
Lots of problems, not with that.
Okay,
November 22nd?
yeah,
I don't believe I have a conflict with it, but I don't have my calendar.
Is that 6:30 or 7 o'clock?
And
What is
So
it, Thursday?
Yours.
Oh,
7
7 o'clock,
when was that? 20?
22.
22nd.
Yeah, because I'm gonna meet the 23rd of Pembroke.
Well, that's perfect timing then.
It's always a Thursday here, like 4:45.
What was this meeting?
Greenberry.
Yeah. Okay, so that's number one. My number two thing, it's more of a commentary about October the 10th. So I don't know if I'm speaking for everybody here, but I really felt like a tool just kind of sitting there and saying nothing. And I know that that was the intent for us to gather information, but I don't want the public to think that we don't have anything to say, because all of us, there were a lot of times in that meeting where people were like, well, look, there's nobody saying anything, but we actually all do have a lot to say. And it really felt like, you know, I understand it was a meeting for us to know things, but I really felt like that point that we were just sitting there and not interacting was maybe not made to the public as well as it could have been. And so people were thinking we were just sitting there because we didn't have anything to say, when in fact, you know, we all do have opinions, but we were just stuck in this position when we were sitting there. So a lot of times we got asked questions as council. I don't know if, like, you know, we did get asked questions and we couldn't really respond to anything, but you know, I don't think it's because any of us didn't want to, it's just we were not in a position to. And I understand that was the role of the meeting, but that was a very hard position to be in as a council member, to just sit and not be able to say anything.
It was, and it was very difficult just to sit there. And
Yes.
Tammy, on her sheet that she made, that everyone received at the front door, that there was not going to be interaction. Like it's not, it wasn't a Q&A. And site specific questions were going to be moved on to the county for them to answer to those individuals. We were not, I don't want to use the phrase we were not allowed, but in the best interest of the meeting to keep it flowing, that's how it was.
Yeah, I understand that. I just have to get that.
You had a vent.
Yeah, I
You're
had to
allowed
get
to
that
vent.
out. And my other concern is that I feel like after that meeting, there is not enough information out in the public about zoning. I feel like people are really making up their own, you know, their own information. Some of those key points aren't really getting out. And I'm wondering if there's some way that we can, on social media or in the newspapers, that's a big document for people to get through, just to ease some of these fears and the reasons why. And I know we've said them before, but I think we got to keep saying them, because we're in this for like until next August. So how can we get points out to the public in a way that they can understand? Because I think, you know, for somebody, I think of like our seniors in our community, for some of them to get a document that's a couple hundred pages long, or 100, however many pages it is, that's a lot of information to digest. Can we do some little bite-sized things for people to help them understand what this is about? Like some of those key points, you know? I'm just putting that out there.
The only problem with that is you have to have key points on everything in there, because everybody has. It's gotta, they have to take some responsibility themselves as taxpayer and call and ask the questions if they have questions.
Well, maybe that's something we need to keep promoting online, is call us if you have questions, write to us if you have concerns, if your land's affected by aggregates or is environmentally protected and you know, you want to ask a question, call the county. Like, I think that messaging needs to continue to get out and out and out so that people know where to go, because people right now, like I see people venting on Facebook with like, people are really upset and people don't know where to go. And I think like that messaging has to get out there somehow, you know, maybe the township can put out some more social media posts, like contact the county, send us a letter, like.
A lot of the people that are older, they're still seeing that on social media.
A lot of them are on Facebook though. A lot of our seniors are on Facebook around here. There are. And in the newspaper, maybe it needs to go in the paper too, like the little ad in the paper, like contact us, contact the county. Like just to get that message out there, because right now, sitting here doing nothing, we really do. People are accusing us of not caring, not sharing information. Let's share the information with them.
Is this package not available to all?
Yeah, it is.
I agree through it
I
twice.
feel that a lot of the public has not gone through the package and done their homework, whereas we've been through it numerous times. And each question is specific to somebody's property. We can't go through everybody's
Yeah.
You know, it can take us years to do that.
Maureen,
I understand that, I'm just saying, like, right now, we're in a situation where we're asking people for feedback. And there are ways that they can give us our feedback, and I don't think everybody realizes this, because right now people are just venting online. People aren't knowing, I've been contacting people, send us a letter, put it in writing, like, people don't know that, those
See,
are
a
key
lot
things.
Too, I think my perspective is a lot of them have not read the package, haven't looked through it.
Yeah.
For specific, it's well outlined, it's in categories, you don't have to read the whole thing, if you're interested in this thing, then look at that particular section of it.
Stuff like the gentleman,
Before you start, you know, and then that may help.
just like that gentleman that had a letter to the editor.
Yeah.
He's talking about stuff that he has no idea what he's talking about.
there's,
But can we
main
just
thing
do
was-
something to reiterate, like, this is where you find the information, this is what you do if you have a problem with the information. This is who you contact, like, just something to appease people and let them know that we actually give a damn how they feel about zoning, and we want them to know where they can go to voice any concerns they have, because some people do have legitimate concerns and they don't know where to put them.
but it's not the general concerns, it's but site specific concerns. That was the key item. If you, for what's gone on with your property, those are the questions that we want to have brought to the forefront. And that's the questions that the county wanted to answer. The general comments about this is not good, blah, blah, blah. Every municipality's had those. And there's a group of people that are going around and putting that out there. What we need to know is site-specific questions. And those are the ones that everyone is willing to help with or to try to understand. That's the key. For all of the other comments that are coming out, they're all generated in generalities. Those are the kind of comments that all municipalities are hearing.
And I wasn't at the meeting, but I heard, because my wife was there. Like, it's too bad somebody like Mrs. Burns from Whitewater should not be talking because she's not a taxpayer here. So we shouldn't have to listen to her.
Albert Kaczynski, same thing. There's an Alice, and all he did was put everything down.
And I hope Mrs. Burns hears that and she stays out of our township.
There was 7 individuals.
Oh,
That-
yeah, no, I know there are people.
You know-
I know there are people, yeah, anyway, I still think we should.
We share the same
We
concerns.
should share information with people about where to go and who to contact, how to find this information.
But it's-
I think to avoid misinformation, these are the facts, this is where you find it. I think that information needs to keep getting posted. We're still in the zoning process. People right now are kind of like here, and we want to bring them down to here. And one of our biggest complaints in this township is that we do not share enough information with the public. Here's a good opportunity to share some information.
I think at this time, I'd like Tammy to weigh in on her comments with the county as far as the dates, that type of thing. Would you be prepared to say anything on that? Okay.
I would have to contact the county. I don't know if there's a deadline date. I don't know.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay. I'm
But
sure.
is it easy enough to put up a Facebook post saying, just again, here's where you find the zoning information?
Are we,
Contact us.
are we gonna get the questions that,
Can we post it on our Facebook page?
it was in the newsletter, it was in the newsletter, it just came out.
Yeah. I just think the more that information gets shared, the better. It's not bad information to share. It's like a click on the computer. You're highlighting a link.
I
You're
understand,
putting somebody's email at, like, this is not difficult information to share.
I understand and I agree with you,
Yeah,
but. I also been in this position long enough that you can lead people. Grab them by the ear and take them right and point it at them. And 2 days later, they're gonna be on Facebook saying that.
that's okay, but we're doing, it's like doing your due diligence. This is our due diligence.
So do I. And I can't speak for the 2 years prior, but I know what we've done since we've been elected.
Mhm.
And then add in to what the previous council did, like that was the 16th meeting that's been had in regards to zoning, this zoning. That's a lot of work, a lot of time on that previous council and. Boy, that's,
Just, I like put it on Facebook or something, but we can only lead them so far, it's they have to.
Oh, I understand, I think those last two meetings though, have made it very real for a lot of people, like those big public meetings, now people are like. What the heck, I think when people saw those maps, people got really freaked out, and
Oh,
you know,
oh,
and people don't necessarily know what to do.
on maps.
Yeah, like that's a big thing for people, if your land is now like 2/3 aggregates, you don't know who to contact or where to go to, if you have, you know what I mean,
But
like.
you know what? It's funny you say that because there was, I don't know the exact number, but there might have been only 4 or 5 questions
Mhm.
in regards to aggregate and to crown land and the water or the wetlands. That's it. No one else came forward with a question.
All that stuff.
We have no control.
I know we have no control, but there's still a route people can take if they wanna like talk, the county's there for people to talk to.
But we
And that's what
cannot,
I don't think people know,
we
is
cannot
that-
change that.
that's,
Provincial law.
it doesn't matter, there's still people that they can talk to if they wanna like, if they wanna say, I don't believe that this land
Once the
is.
next newsletter.
I think, well, it just came out last week, maybe.
We can have.
But I think that was, in all fairness, I think that was made very clear. That continue to send your letters either to Tammy at our
Mhm.
township or to the county. And that was said numerous times throughout the night.
I know, I think that messaging just has
You
to
know,
keep
And
happening.
that was, say, 250 people. 300 people in there,
Chris.
252.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, township is deeper in Mississippi?
Whitewater.
Whitewater.
That's happening tomorrow night.
They're passing their,
No, the second meeting tomorrow night.
she told me they're passing it tomorrow night. She's on board with me, remember? She's on her, no one, she's on council.
Well, Whitewater's having, from my understanding, Whitewater's having their second meeting tomorrow night. And NAW is supposed to be starting soon thereafter.
But she told me yesterday they were passing it Thursday night. Or Wednesday or Thursday night. They were passing it at that meeting. That's what she told me yesterday. She's not a counselor since 2001 or something.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is a final passing.
She told me it's final.
Well, can we ask Chris to put something on Facebook or
Sure.
like, I don't know what else.
You know, if we find out what the county needs for a deadline. I know it's gonna be a while before they accumulate, because they had a lot of questions from that came here or the ones that came right directly, so. If we find out when that deadline is, when they want to set the deadline, by all means.
Have you got any questions?
We're still continuing to receive emails and phone calls.
And they get sent to the county though.
We do.
Which county will be bringing that back to us.
Yeah, we get a report.
Not gonna be next week.
No.
No.
Well, I'm in support of continuing to put that message.
As long as the deadline's still open,
Mhm.
you know, the Facebook, that's,
Because the people are spreading misinformation and quite frankly lies. Are not stopping their campaign. Spreading misinformation, so.
and it's not just us that is faced with that. Every municipality is faced with that. So, okay. Any other new business? All right,
I'm good,
your list is exhausted.
yeah.
Okay, I have one. They're on Lake Rink. The back part from the building to the ice surface. There's a platform that goes along. And for the last couple of years, and I wasn't here, of course, but I understand that that's come before council numerous times about replacing that section. So it's easier. Harold, do you maybe make a comment on the condition of that platform?
Well, it's done, it's not safe. It's fixed up a bit last year because it was. Meant up, I mean, it's kind of broken and nail went under. Because we didn't know if it was going to open or not. Just put a couple of more posts in, but
So there's the flat part, and the other thing that was on the wish list was an overhang. So that when the kids are tying their skates, there's an overhang, you know, just like at the Killaloo rink here. Where there's an overhang of the building. So there's two items. I know in one of the years, I believe it was budgeted for, but it never got completed. So then it just got knocked off. So we have a couple of possibilities. You know, ideally, it would be great to have this done before we put the ice in, before that rink is operational. Because if it's
Well,
as
it can't be done if the frost comes.
right, so it has to be done before that. So, and if it's in dire situation, then we should address this right away. We have a couple options. There is a recreation fund. Volunteer rec has offered to contribute, if not all or part. So we have, and right now, we don't know an actual cost of what it could cost. So that's up in the air also. So I guess the first thing we need to do is get a cost, an estimate of the flooring, and if we're going to do the overhang, and then come up with the next part is either which method we want to contribute to it.
Again, in cost, it should be costed separate. Because
Each one.
one's a safety
Right.
issue and one's vicious.
Right?
Did we budget for any of this?
This year, I don't believe so, right? Yeah.
I said volunteer was going to pay for it.
Yeah.
When I set up that bottle program, it was for the parks and the kids. We have the money for it. I've already got somebody lined up to do the deck. It's too late to do the roof because he's coming to be here a little later in the fall. But the
Well,
roofs would be done next year.
If they're paying for it, we don't, all we have to do is give an okay for them to go ahead and do it. We don't need price. It's not costing taxpayers anything.
And then Dale said as long as if we were doing it through volunteer recreation, I don't even have to get tenders.
No,
Mhm.
it has nothing to do with us.
I'm, me personally, I'm not sure volunteer rec should foot the bill themselves on one of our buildings.
There's only three of us in on volunteer recreation day, myself, Diane, and you as treasurer. We both voted already that we're going to be doing it.
No, I'm talking from the council standpoint. I don't think council should allow volunteer rec to foot the whole bill. I think it's something that is part of our township assets. The rink, the building.
There's lots of stuff out there that's been done by the
Uh-huh.
volunteer rec.
I know we got a very generous offer from volunteer rec to do this, but I just don't think it's,
If volunteer rec does it, though, it's gonna be easy. Right? This
Going to
is
be done.
easy, and it's gonna be done, so I say, let volunteer rec do this.
Well,
Like, we're gonna have to get into a whole process if we want to put
We're
money,
going to go for the deck this year. It's too late to do the roof.
yeah. So then maybe we look at the roof for next year, yes. That sounds fair.
Yeah, if it's gonna go through council, then it has to be brought up in budget and done at budget time, so we can budget it in our. We all know, but we went through last year, and we're gonna go through it again this year.
or there
We
is,
have money coming out of our ears. So
That's
Or
what
the-
I said.
There's a time that-
Here would be.
you're looking at next year, if we have to budget it in, it's gonna be next year's budget.
or there is,
This year's is already done.
in addition, there is a recreation account within the township. And we don't know what the balance of that is. So, you know, that's the funds from the loggers and all those other events that goes right directly to recreation.
But that bottle drilling thing was set up for that specific stuff, was not terrible.
That's why I'm still doing it.
Mhm.
There you go.
We supported programs, we bought equipment. Play structures, the township was great. They gave us a nice donation for the big play structure, the swing sets.
I'm sure we-
Backstops out of St. Casimir when they closed the township.
Yeah. Would we not be able to run this through the township to save the tax?
Save the HST, yeah, like the labor or the materials.
Get the HST off.
Okay. Then. And then we'll need do we need a building permit? Or we just do it?
The last time we were doing something with Tyler, because it's on the township there, it didn't have to be. So I don't know, I'll have to speak to Tyler.
Okay. But we'll definitely need it done for this year. Okay. Is that it for new business? Motion enter into committee of the whole.
Moved by Brian Bukowski, second by Bill Smith, be it resolved that council move into a closed meeting pursuant to section 239 of the municipal act 2001 as amended for the following reason. Personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. Advice that is subject to solicitor client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose.
All those in favor? Carried.
Okay.